Korea has a wide variety of influential people, from Park Ji-sung to Syngman Rhee. However, no one has changed Korea quite as much as the great ruler King Sejong. King Sejong was born under the name Yido to King Taejong and Queen Wangmyeon of the Joseon dynasty on May 15, 1397 in Hanyang, which is now present-day Seoul. Usually, the oldest son in the family would receive the title ruler. However, Sejong's profound knowledge earned him his title, even though he was the third son. In August of 1418, he ascended to the throne as the fourth king of the new Joseon dynasty. But let's rewind a bit, shall we? In 1393, King Taejo had overthrown the Goryeo dynasty and established the Joseon dynasty. The shift had huge changes in almost all aspects of Korean life, from politics and economics to government ideologies. Fast forwarding to the rule of King Sejong, most of the confusion and conflict had mostly died down, but the door for change was wide open. King Sejong was a fair and just leader who was instrumental in the early years of the young dynasty. He cared for the input of not just his lower-ranking officials, but also his people. To gather their input, he developed a petition system to incorporate their ideas into the government. Because he felt that there was always room for improvement, he pushed himself to learn more by surrounding himself with intellectuals and Confucian texts. King Taejong, his father, was a great military strategist. He continued to control military planning for the first couple years of Sejong's reign. Don't let this fact change your opinion about Sejong's skills, though. King Sejong was a quick study, and soon he introduced a number of changes in the country's military forces. Gunpowder had expanded to new uses like cannons and mortars, as well as rocket-like fire arrows. Pew pew pew! King Sejong was also a supporter of technology. Not only did he encourage the development of sturdier paper, but also the improvement of movable metal type for printing. This made books more widely available in the kingdom. One of these notable books was the history of the Goryeo dynasty, which consists of a variety of topics like farming techniques. The common people were not left out in these changes. Sejong established a grain surplus of over 5 million barrels of rice to feed poor families in times of drought or flood. Now we have come to his most remembered achievement. We can give our thanks to our school's Korean program to the guy who made the alphabet himself. During this time, Chinese was the primary language of scholars and bureaucrats. Literacy was exclusive to the upper class. However, Sejong wanted to change things up a bit. He wanted the people to have direct input to the government, and the only way possible was to have them all reading and writing. With this idea in mind, he was on a mission for change. It was a cold winter of 1443 when he gathered 8 trusted advisors to unveil his plans to develop an alphabetic system to represent Korean language sounds and sentence structure that was simple enough to ensure that even ordinary people could learn the language. While creating this alphabet, the shape of the mouth, teeth, and tongue were studied and incorporated into the language. This makes Hangul one of the most scientific languages in the world. They came up with 14 consonants and 10 vowels, which could be arranged into clusters to make a variety of words. In 1446, he encouraged all his subjects to learn this new system, but he faced backlash from the upper elite. His Yangban, aka elite class, had called the system vulgar because they did not want women and lower social classes to be literate. But their opposition could not cool the growing Hangul fever spreading all the way even to the edges of the kingdom. October 9th, also known as Hangul Now, is the celebration of the creation of this beautiful language. This day marks the anniversary of the day the Korean language was invented and declared by King Sejong to be the official language of the country. His influence can be seen all across Korean culture, even today. Look at that 10,000 won bill. Who do you see? None other than the great King Sejong.